Berwyn, one of the other questions that I've got in my mind right now is how different country cultures, different groups in different countries, for large organisations that are leading, managing businesses across borders, how they deal with feedback. So when performance is problematic, or when performance needs to be lifted, when costs in the business need to be contained, or we need to improve performance, improve top line revenues, improve bottom line profitability. Feedback is such an important characteristic of those kinds of organisations. So the challenge is, what are the differences you've noticed in giving and receiving feedback in cultures such as Australia and those in countries like Thailand or Indonesia? How does feedback function in those kinds of places?
Very differently.
Yeah.
For a start, in Australia, the subordinates are usually fairly upfront about giving feedback to their managers. People expect to have their say, they expect to be listened to, and they generally then respect the decision by the senior manager. Because, well, thank you very much, I've heard your opinion, we're not going to do what you recommend. People feel like I've had my say. In Asian countries, people don't expect to give that feedback, they expect to receive detailed, crisp orders from their managers. The problem then for Australians is finding out when things are going wrong.
That's the problem.
If you're in Australia, you can be pretty sure that you're going to be told pretty quickly if things are going wrong. In a society where people obey orders, they expect the boss to come in, check on them every day, and be satisfied that things are going well.
Yeah.
There's very little upward feedback.
There's a lot of inspection that comes at a cost for the leader.
Therefore, the leader has to inspect a lot, and
yes.
that's something that people from Anglo-Saxon countries like Australia really need to learn.
Struggle very much.
The second thing that I would caution people about is giving critical feedback in public.
Yes.
In most Asian countries, what we call collectivist, people belong to what are called in-groups that look after them in return for loyalty. That collectivist attitude comes across to business culture. People are very conscious of their dignity
yes.
and the way they are perceived by their fellows. And we can understand that. We are too. Nobody likes to be bawled out in front of people.
Sure.
Generally, we have what I think we might consider to be thicker skins here. We can take it.
Yes.
If you want to guide or criticise an Asian colleague, my advice would be always to take him to one side. Be very careful about the emotion you display. Counsel him in a calm tone of voice. Make clear what you want to have done. 9 times out of 10 that will work. Your colleague will know what is happening and will appreciate the fact that you didn't make him lose face. And this is where the concept of face comes from. Didn't make you lose face in front of his colleagues.
Great. That's good advice. Thank you.